Thanks to the support as a channel member, Topher O'Neill. Boys and girls, quick reminder. I reminded you. I mentioned this around about this time last month. Doesn't time fly? But throughout the whole of May, if you live in certain countries, of which England or the UK is definitely one of them, and you are a YouTube Premium member, you can support any channel you want as a channel member, just one channel for free. You get a free channel membership for a month. If you did that a month ago, thanks. It might be due again. It's only available until the end of this month, so it's not going to be something I have to ask you about every month, but you might be able to squeeze one more month in. And if you never did get round to doing it, you've got a few days left. You've got until the end of May. I really do appreciate the support on those. So yeah, if you did it before, thanks. Please do again. If not, please do. If you're not in any of those areas, then it ends in a few days and you never need to hear about it again. Unless they bring it back as a full-time thing, in which case, got to put food on the table, haven't I? Hello and welcome to Club 7, Part 7 of Non-League to Legend. I'm Kevin. Coming up on today's episode, we have a Champions League knockout round second leg game against Juventus and a Premier League game away against Liverpool. Since you were last with me, we've only played a couple of games. We knocked Everton out of the FA Cup, absolutely smashed them, but then inexplicably lost to Aston Villa in the Premier League, our first defeat since New Year's Day, when we narrowly lost against Manchester City. And I would suggest, looking back through our Premier League results, our first really unexpected defeat of the season. I guess you could put West Ham in that category until you see the context of West Ham still being up there competing for a Champions League spot, although they are kind of in freefall now. But Villa are down in 16th place. That win against us actually pushing them up above Brighton into 16th place. It was very, very unexpected and hopefully not a sign of things to come. For this Juventus game that's coming up first, we are ahead from the first leg. We beat them 3-0 at their place, so this should theoretically be comfortable, both in terms of we obviously want to stay in the Champions League, but also we want to get some of our momentum back going into that Liverpool game, which is a big game. We're 6 points clear at the top of the league with 9 games to go. A win away against Liverpool, although they're not the Liverpool we all know and love from real life now, and they're down in 7th place. It's obviously a big motivational boost for Manchester United to go to Liverpool and beat them, whereas losing to them would be the reverse of that. And with Tottenham starting to prowl as defending champions, we do need to be on high alert that we don't go and throw this away, because that would be troublesome. So this is the team for the Juventus game. We've got Ultrichter in goal, a back four, Ronaldo, Carpentier, Haman and Merba. Vermonti at the base of the midfield, Abbott, Bull and Baumgartner ahead of him. And then Paulo, Sanchez and Crown are our front three. We're once again starting to accumulate injuries. Philippe Leonard's still not fit. Paul Sweeney has now joined the injured list and is going to miss both of the games on today's episode. Rocker also probably going to miss both games as he still tries to continue from his injury. So we're with the players that left in January and the injuries that are just starting to accumulate ever so slightly now. We're not in the strongest position we've ever been in, but we do have Sanchez back, and Sanchez is a very important player for us. He's been our main man up front ever since the injury to Leonard and has actually done much better in that role than Leonard was doing before. It's not a foregone conclusion that Philippe Leonard walks straight back into the team, and that might actually do him some good, because as we saw in that second season at Barcelona and at the start of season here at United, he's not quite the Philippe Leonard that we all remember from that first season at Barcelona. Part of me thinks he doesn't like competition, because as soon as Correa really emerged as a viable alternative at Barcelona, he kind of stopped. But I choose to ignore that and hope that he'll see how well Sanchez is doing, realise that he actually has to work to get back in the team and start trying again. Because I think a lot of the issue with Leonard is that he's just become a little bit complacent. It's become all about the big money move for him. He was pushing for it all last year. He's now got it. He's earning £2.5 million a month. He just doesn't care anymore. Whereas Sergio Sanchez, picking up his 18th goal of the season there, has got a lot to prove, because he knows Mr. Expensive Philippe Leonard has been signed over the top of him. He's a couple of years younger than Sanchez, and it has replacement written all over it. And Sanchez has been given the opportunity to fight for his place here at Man United, and he spent the last 4 or 5 months doing exactly that. And How can I just drop him off the back of the form that he's been in during this injury to Leonard? One person I did expect to see in this Juventus team, who I haven't seen in either of the matches, is Thorgerson, who we had at Bayern Munich, and they sold him to Juventus not long after I left. It was like, I think it was the first winter transfer window after I went to Barcelona. Thorgerson also left, went to Juventus. He seems to be, I mean, he's been scoring goals for them. Every now and again I see his name pop up. So he has been playing regularly. I can only assume he's injured because he's not even on the bench for them. I've not noticed him move on, but I'll do my best to remember after this game to check in on Thorgerson and see what he's up to. Ronaldo trying to skip past his defender, but can't quite get past him. And I mean, both United and Juventus fans are probably looking at the fact there's a Cristiano Ronaldo on the pitch thinking, what's all this then? Different Cristiano Ronaldo. Left back. He's a left back. Not quite as good at skipping past his man as you saw just there. But he is better at doing that. Lovely interception from Ronaldo. Plays the ball forward to Sanchez. And now we've got the counter-attack on. It's with Keith Crown. He's got Baumgartner up supporting him. Paulo's there as well. And Paulo scores his 14th goal of the season. It really is a season-long story of players that I wrote off proving me wrong here at Manchester United. We're going to, if we win the league this year and other stuff, we're going to be winning it almost in spite of me, because I came in and immediately thought, right, Paulo, Sanchez, they don't fit into my system. I've got better options. I mean, Paulo was even on the transfer list at one point during the summer, and we didn't get in any appropriate offers for him, so we never let him go. But there's a very strong argument, I guess, for Monty aside, these two have been our two best players for the majority of this season. And if I'd have had my way, neither of them would have been here. So it's a good job the world, the universe conspired to make me keep them at the club. Otherwise, we'd have been in a right pickle now with the failure of the Leonard signing and then the injury that he picked up. Right, Umo's going to come on and play a game on the right wing to try and redeem himself. Come on, it's a redemption story season. Prove to me that I was wrong to write you off. Because he's the guy I favoured above both Paulo and Sanchez as the one existing United player who could keep his spot in the squad, mainly because he was French. And I thought that Leonard might like it, having a compatriot in his team with him. But apparently not. Most importantly, though, we've just absolutely cruised past Juventus. No issue at all, no doubt at any point during that time. I mean, they are fifth in Serie A. We absolutely should have cruised past them. So Thorgerson is their key player. So, and he's got pulled knee ligaments, so that's why he wasn't available for that game. But yeah, as you can see, he's in the form of his life in Serie A. Bit of an easier league, scoring more goals than he ever has. Good work, Thomas. Right, let's go play Liverpool. Right, a couple of changes for the Liverpool game then. Abbottball comes in for Baumgartner, who drops down to the bench. And Willian, now finally fit after arriving for big money, well, £24.5 million in January, is ready to make his debut on the left-hand side in the absence of Sweeney. Would have started against Juventus, but of course not in the Champions League squad, but can start in this game. So we have a proper backup winger for Sweeney now. I'm surprised we're allowed to allocate squad numbers in the middle of the season like this, but apparently we are. Should have done that when he arrived, really. Willian, though, takes the number 12 shirt here at Manchester United, and at 21 years old, you expect it to be a shirt that he occupies for many, many years to come. Did I just notice that this man is completely bald, apart from an incredible moustache? Let's just have another... Oh, look at him. Look at him. What a beautiful man Willian is. He's going to be a star immediately with a head like that. Right, Liverpool are the first team to attack. It goes wide, thankfully. We need a win here. Liverpool have that rarity when we're in 2035 of still having a player in their team who's an actual real player. We don't get a lot of that anymore. But they've got Ansu Fati in their team, who I did try and re-sign for Barcelona like 2 years ago. But I think at that point he was 30. So that's, I guess, a good example of why this Liverpool team are down in 6th and 7th place, because they're living in the past. They're not updating the way all of Europe's big clubs are, basically by hiring me to do it for them. I'm doing a European tour, threshing up clubs that need younger players, he says, with Vermonti coming with him everywhere he goes. Right, that was a really nothing first half, wasn't it? Let's get a bit assertive here. Everyone needs to dig in. Because remember, this, although we had the Juventus game coming in between, this match is hot off the back of the defeat against Aston Villa. So if we don't win here, that's then 2 games without victory in the Premier League, just as Tottenham are really hitting top form. We don't want them to be lurking 7 points behind us with a game in hand. And I think we still play them as well, because they're hitting good form, just as we're starting to stutter a little bit. So we need to unstutter ourselves and grab a goal. I thought I was going to stick it in there and I was going to be able to say like that and finish the sentence and look like a proper smarty pants. But no, it wasn't to be. And we're now an hour in. We're going to ask for 10 minutes of passion. 10 minutes of passion. If that doesn't work, we've got some substitutions to do. But looking down at the bench, there's not a lot to bring on to mix things up a little bit here. Have we won a penalty? We're going over to the little telly. I think it's a penalty for handball. It is. Lovely stuff. It's Keith Crown to step up. I mean, he doesn't miss penalties. We didn't see him miss one yesterday. Oh, Keith, you're not taking penalties anymore. That's back-to-back penalties he's missed now. He's supposed to be our captain. We can't be having him miss massive penalties in massive games the way he is at the moment. He's the biggest bottle job of all of them. Vermonti now, running the wrong way, but at least he keeps hold of the ball because he's Vermonti, and that's what Vermonti does, although I think he's fouled them there. Oh, no, it's Carpentier who did the foul. I was going to say, Vermonti doesn't feel the need to foul. He's above all that. Right, this front line has been pitiful. Sanchez is going to come off for Umo. Crown is going to come off for Chiellini. I'm tempted to take Willian off for Paolo as well and do a 3, but what I might actually do is keep Willian on and take off... I won't take off Allah. I'll do this for 10 minutes and see how the shape change works. And maybe review from there. We've got Paolo, who is the best at the club, playing in that role in behind the striker, but he can't really play in central midfield. So if we were to score a goal doing it really quickly and have to switch back to something a little bit more sensible, Paolo's not really the man to switch back and do that. Right, Willian charging down this left-hand side, a chance to show us just how good he is. Oh, no. Now Liverpool are in. Back-to-back defeats is going to be even worse than back-to-back not winning situations. And we've now given away a penalty. Carpentier has been sloppy again. And, I mean, we mentioned him earlier in the match. It's always, we know how Football Manager works. If you mention a member of the opposition, apparently you don't even have to click on them. Just mention that they exist and they're guaranteed to pop up and score a goal. And now this is the opposite of the scenario we were hoping for out of this game. Willian is going to be the one who comes off. We're going to bring Paolo on for him. And we really need Philippe Leonard back. I want to be able to stick an extra man up front now. We don't really have anyone who can go up there. I'm going to push Vermonti forward and just go to a more conventional 4-2-3-1. Demand more as part of it. And hope that we can find an equaliser at least, because we are handing an opportunity to Tottenham here. Murba with the big throw into the penalty area. Umo heads it back to him. Murba trying to dance through and get another penalty. What's the point though? We don't score them. Vermonti hits the outside of the post. And I thought Vermonti was going to just really confirm why he is the hero that we all know he is. But alas, it has gone back the other end and Liverpool have a free kick and Altrichter makes a save. And it's a Liverpool corner. There's 4 minutes of added time to come, but we are not looking in this at all. It's a Liverpool corner. We need to clear it and just have a breakaway counter-attack thing. But apparently not. Liverpool with a free kick just on the edge, well, on the side of their penalty area. And there's now 3 minutes of time remaining in this game. But Liverpool have the football. And they're in behind here. And Altrichter makes a very good save. I mean, you look at those stats and you say Liverpool deserve this win. And it does put them back up into a Champions League spot. So maybe I was a little bit too quick to write them off beforehand. But I'm going to chalk this up to Champions League hangover and try and claim that really is a thing. But what's actually happened is we've now lost 2 Premier League games in a row. And Tottenham, with a game in hand, are looking dangerous. I think we play Tottenham again, don't we? Okay, we don't play Tottenham again. So it's not quite as worrying a situation. But it is still a worrying situation. We'll be back tomorrow. Because the league is really tightening up and the league is really the thing that we want to win more than anything, I think we'll probably come back with the second leg of the Champions League quarter-final, and one of the league games either side it, either Birmingham or Chelsea, whichever one is most interesting. Probably Chelsea, because we're not here to win the Champions League. That'd be a nice bonus, but we've won that twice already. We're here to win the Premier League, because that's the unfinished business we've got to do. So FA Cup, EFL Cup, Premier League, do them all in one go, and we can dance off into the sunset and leave England again after just the 1 year back. It looks less likely now than it did at the start of the episode. If you've enjoyed that, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up for me. Do I know 3,000 videos? Do I know how to do the outro? Of course I don't. Subscribe. I think I'm supposed to ask you to subscribe. And thank you for watching.